Hey there, dear listeners. Just a couple things about this week's episode. I have to apologize. It's just not up to par quality wise as compared to what else we've been putting out. There's quite a few things that went wrong, partially on my fault. First off, I was stuck in a hallway, so you might hear some hallway ambient sounds throughout. Or not might, you will definitely hear them. Also, there was quite a bit of lag between the Skype signal between me and Brian, so I had to edit around it as best as I could, but there's just some things that I couldn't really cover up. And lastly, I was dead tired, and I even let my eyes shut a couple times, and I had to like snap back awake while Brian was talking. So if you spot closely, you might be able to find where that happened. That might be fun for you, but here it is. If you listen to it and you are able to deal with it, I'm grateful for that, and hopefully things will be able to go back to speed within about 2 or 3 weeks. So thank you for listening.
Hey, welcome to 2 Cents, everybody. This is the Dollar Views After Show, where we talk the news, anything that's happened, just a recap, tech, TV, film, doesn't matter. It's Super Bowl Sunday, February 7th, 2015. 16, it's still the beginning of the year. It's Brian Gillis, as always. I'm here with Steve.
Hello.
Starting off with something interesting here. Diversity. Ryan Murphy, Big Time TV, Glee, Scream Queens, American Horror Story, American Crime Story, basically anything. He's pledged that half of his TV program directing slots will go to women or people of color from now on. He already, makes lots of stuff that star women. He's a gay, I guess you could say, head in Hollywood, and so this could be a big thing, especially if he follows through it. He could kind of be like the male Shondaland.
The male what?
Version of Shondaland, Shonda Rhimes. That's what they call her TV.
I did not.
All of her stuff.
No, never was aware of that. No.
I guess you don't really watch TV.
I don't. I don't. No, but oh shoot.
Yes, I don't know. I'm trying to. A good thing.
People are getting work at the same time, though. I mean, that is some. I don't know. When you say that you're gonna like restrict it to like a very specific group, it sounds like someone else is getting outcast. Like that's never a good thing, but at the same time, given where we are today, I can see why. I just hope that this isn't a trend that goes on too long. I mean, I don't know whenever we're going to get, complete equality and diversity. I don't know, man. You?
Hashtag 52 women in film. I don't know. I think it could be interesting because there are some really good, talented female directors out there.
I mean, it's great that they get work.
Definitely give them more of a spotlight. But yeah, I do agree. This is just like Oscar So White. When you're making an affirmative action push, you're no longer hiring because of the qualifications. It's to meet a quota.
I know that it just makes it sound like it's pushing an agenda. I mean,
Of course, it's a political thing.
Well, yeah, I know, but I mean, it's just like when you're talking about art, that's the last thing that it should be, and it's just like, well, I get why, but at the same time, it's like. I just wish that there was a better way to handle these things or to announce them.
Well, maybe the Pope can help. And speaking of which, Pope Francis is playing himself in a religious film for kids. It's the first time a Pope has appeared in a feature film. I'm sure it's going to be filming soon. I think all the proceeds go to some kind of charity for Catholic people, probably something like that. The Pope's in a movie.
Well, is it really that big of a movie?
Well, no, it's a religious movie, but I mean, for the people, those kind of make movies like War Room last year made a good amount of money. There's a couple other examples. I mean, look at Passion of the Christ, huge numbers. So if this has the market, maybe it's fun. I don't know. I don't remember the plot line. I think this was announced on Monday, so it's been a little bit of time since I read it. But I think it's kind of cool.
I mean,
there isn't really an equivalence. I mean, imagine if the president was in a feature film.
Was in a starring role, it's not like some like Contact where they kind of use the image and just play with it. But I don't know. I mean, I guess for the audience, this is a big deal. But because it's not a major it's not like a Hollywood tentpole or anything. So I don't know. It doesn't feel like that big a deal to me. But I guess it is.
I don't know if it's a big deal. I saw it and I thought it was cute. So
well,
at the top of the show.
It was in all over film news. I mean, it's not just youth, so it's definitely it is somewhat of a big deal. I don't know. I'm not Catholic.
If
so
the
I don't
Dalai
really care.
Lama was in a movie, it would be just as big of a big deal. It's just the fact that
not only that,
a very famous person is doing something that's going to be seen by others for the joy of just entertainment or education.
But I think that'd be cooler at the same time. The Dalai Lama.
I think we. Well, yeah, but you can't You can't beg and choose who's going to be in
Nah,
movies.
you can't.
Oh, I mean, Ryan Murphy can. Uh, we're going to move to VR here for a second. Well, actually, AR first. Magic Leap, if you haven't heard the name, it's because it's very secret. It's some kind of augmented reality startup. Google's in bed with them, a whole bunch of other people. They just got more funding. I think this was Series D this week. They're valued at $4.5 billion now for a company that doesn't even exist yet. They don't have a product on the market. They must be doing something right. I mean, the closest thing, if you haven't heard the name, it's kind of what Microsoft's doing with HoloLens, except implemented outside of just the home. Like, this could be like one of the videos they have on YouTube is like a whale coming out of the ground on a basketball court at an elementary school, and the whole auditorium's there freaking out. It's not a hologram; it's AR.
What's really the difference between the two?
Between augmented reality and virtual reality.
Yeah, like no,
Augmented reality
no,
is
I mean,
putting an image in the real world where you can see. Virtual reality is
no, but I mean,
cutting
you're
off
saying,
everything else you can see in
you're
only
saying
see VR.
you just said it's not a hologram. That's what I'm asking.
Oh, between hologram and AR.
Yeah.
A hologram is, I don't know. That's a good question. I think a hologram is a type of augmented reality, whereas it has a singular purpose. It's just a projection, and I think the idea behind AR is that you can also interact with the objects. Like it is a medium.
Well, like, will you physically be able to feel or touch or smell?
I don't know
Like,
if they got
it'll- or
$4.5
it probably
billion
could react,
so
yeah.
far. They
I mean,
must be doing something.
it seems
Because it's like everyone that you can think of, all the, well, not Apple, but lots of tech startup people. I think Technicolor, some movie studios, probably a whole bunch of people. This is just one of those things, kind of like we talked about Holocinema last year or Oculus, that the industry wants to get in on. And I wonder, like, who knows when they're going to show something off. It's just that you've known the name now. It's been out in the public sphere for about 2.5, 3 years. So with VR taking off in just a month from now, I have to imagine that we're going to see something from them in the near future to try to capitalize on the hype.
I think fairly shortly too. I mean, this stuff's been moving so fast. Like, I mean, ever since the beginning of this show, you've been bringing up VR, and it's like progressed significantly from where we were first talking about it to where it is now.
It would have been crazy if we started this show a couple years ago and we were following like the Oculus Rift developers kit. But staying in the same area, talking about VR, not Oculus per se, but there's a new app out right now. It just went live on Gear VR. It's called AltSpace VR, and it's kind of it supposedly creates a social environment for VR apps. I'm not sure exactly what that means. I don't know if you make your avatar. I think it's just kind of like a hub where you can hang out and see if there's other people or something like that. And yeah, it is Oculus because that's the only devices that's currently on. No news if it's going to be coming to the HTC Vive or the Sony Morpheus. I mean, VR, PlayStation VR. I want to try this out. I mean, I obviously don't have a Gear VR, but who knows what this is? I'm sure it's still kind of in incubation. But it could be tapped to be something big, like we were talking last week about being in a movie theater and seeing the people around you when you're seeing it on the screen.
I mean, that's just a start. Like, it's just throwing them in one room right now just to see if it works.
Something like that, yeah. Like I said, I don't know if there's any actual visual representation of the person, like an avatar. Maybe it's just names, or maybe it's just menus. That seems like it could be an idea too. It's like, oh, who else is on here? Maybe I'll send them a photo. I don't know.
I mean,
like I said, the wording is create social environments for apps.
That's kind of the point. It's what it's supposed to get to, isn't it?
It is.
Or it may very well be not just a step, but it may very well be the thing.
It might be the thing, yeah, like Netflix. Originally, it's like, oh, this is cool. They're doing streaming. They're the one. Talking about VR, though, more real implications here. Robert Stromberg, who's the director of films such as Maleficent, is also the co-founder of the virtual reality company. He said in an interview this week that he's got Steven Spielberg interested in working with him. He's their advisor now. So he might have a project. Slash don't point at this. I mentioned it months ago that VR would be perfect for Ready Player One. That's his next big theatrical release. Maybe this means that there's going to be some VR content, maybe kind of like what Star Wars did with Google Cardboard, and he's directing it. So that would be really cool.
I mean, it seems like, I mean, you read Ready Player One. That's a big part of
Yeah,
the story itself. So I would imagine that there would be something integrated with the movie itself.
I'm doing a reread right now, actually. But yeah, ideally what I'd like to see if this is happening, sections in the movie that are just repurposed in VR. Like if they filmed the scene inside the Oasis in the digital world where most of the story takes place. Like there are a couple of key scenes in particular that would just work a lot better, especially if you market it that way. And something that we talked about before, you know, the American Sniper trailer. The reason why people saw it, it was just a contained scene.
Mm-hmm.
If they can do that same thing here, which is kind of what, like I said, the Jakku Spy stuff did on the Star Wars app. Like for instance, when Rey's piloting the Millennium Falcon through the tunnels, you're watching it from the outside of that downed ship, the Star Destroyer. So you didn't know what was happening, you didn't have any context, but you see this one moment happen, and you're like, oh, that's a cool set piece. So if they could do a similar thing as marketing, or even better yet, when it comes out as a continuation, to keep people interested until it makes it on home video, it'd be really cool. But even if it isn't, the fact that Spielberg's, you know, getting his toes wet in new technology this early, you know, it's going to influence other directors to get out there, and maybe he's involved with Hollow Cinema. Maybe ILM's working with him too.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's never had a history, I don't think, like George Lucas has, where George Lucas has been all about improving technology over time. Like, you know, Spielberg has done that with Jurassic Park. Like, you know, he was the one that started DTS, right?
Maybe, yeah.
Or that founded it, yes. But I mean, getting someone like Steven Spielberg, like, you know, just a great storyteller to work in this new medium while it's developing, just finding a way to tell stories within that, that's definitely the right guy to get for it. Like, if he can do it right, then it's going to speed things up to go into that direction for stories.
Exactly. You might have what it's been missing so far to find the language for VR storytelling or experiencing, I guess you could say, the experience creation.
Yeah, just the visceral storytelling experience of it. Like,
well, I mean, I still haven't watched it, but I remember a year and a half ago, one of the things to market that movie Wild with Reese Witherspoon, was this experience where you're standing in the middle, and when you start off, you're looking straight ahead, and you see her mother, Laura Dern, and then you're looking around, you're like, why is she looking at me? This is weird. And you rotate, and directly behind you, it's Reese Witherspoon staring longingly across it from one another, and you're caught in the middle. So that seemed, like I said, I haven't done this experience. I don't even know if it's out there still somewhere. But that seems like, compared to the stuff that I've actually experienced, where a movie might be able to do it right, if it's calculated like that. Because the Kaiju Fury is really weird. Like, you're a fly on the wall, literally. But when the kaiju are fighting and you're on the ground and they're huge and towering above you, it's really intimidating. It's just there's a really weird editing in that. But yeah, hopefully Ready Player One sees some of this action. It'd be really, really cool if they release the movie on VR, which could happen. I mean, this movie's coming out Christmas. I mean, it's not going to be on home video till, April of 2017 or a little bit later than that.
Maybe sooner than that. I don't know, March. Like, the release window's, it's like 3 months just for physical media and only 2 months for digital copies, right? Like something like that. Like, I know you can order off Amazon.
It depends on the size of the movie.
Like, you can order off Amazon and Vudu like a month before it hits Blu-ray. So I don't know how fast this stuff is going to get out there. Like, it seems like it's going to, you know, we talked about this before. Like, it's literally going to be like you can buy a copy right after you walk out of the theater. Yeah.
Like, show that you bought a ticket. Here's your copy. No questions asked.
Yeah.
Just come back again, and we'll give you the 3D version at home. Come back one more time, and you can get a film cell. They're gonna have to find a way to get people to return, because even if every single person in the U.S. bought a ticket, if all 300 million people saw the same movie, that's only, $3 billion domestic. Like, it seems like a lot, but Star Wars is almost there. It's at 900 mil right now.
No, it's already crossed $2 billion. I don't think it's gonna cross 3.
No. I mean, I'm talking domestic. I'm just saying. I'm saying
Okay.
just in terms of domestic. Like Star Wars is almost at 1 billion domestic. It's at 900 something million.
It just got at
Low
900. Yeah, I
900s.
don't think it's gonna cross it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I hope so. That'd be really cool. I mean, it's still got a little bit of time. Maybe with like the dollar discount theaters and everything else. If it gets an IMAX re-release, you know it's gonna be re-released again in time for, 2 Christmases from now. So
Well,
let's see.
I mean, I
Maybe
don't know.
down.
Do those dollars count when for when they do like those screenings where the back-to-back midnights for that with sequels and whatever preceded it?
Maybe, but
I don't know if they
with
count.
with this one, there wouldn't be a back-to-back. It would just be a solitary like film.
I mean, yeah, for IMAX that would make sense because they have native IMAX scene in there, and more
Yeah.
places are going to have like 4K laser in there. And I did actually see the movie in IMAX today, and I saw like what that action sequence looked like, and even though it wasn't groundbreaking, it still looked
Did
really
you?
nice. Yeah, didn't see it in laser, didn't see it on
It's
70.
the chase on Jakku, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's that whole scene too. There's no
Yeah,
annoying
and
switches.
the
It's consistently that way, and you can tell there's like a pretty big upkick in resolution and in color when that sequence happens.
still cool.
Just that
Very
one
nice.
scene, that's it.
Something that's not cool. This is weird. Kind of coming off of Ready Player One. Take-Two Interactive is being sued by people trying to claim copyright ownership of tattoos on players in their NBA 2K16 franchise games. They want $150,000 per tattoo. If
Didn't
this sounds stupid, it's because it is. There's kind of precedent for it, though, legally. If you remember back to The Hangover 2,
I was
there
gonna
was a
say, didn't that
huh?
happen?
Yeah, for The Hangover 2, there was like this real stupid suit where someone was trying to sue, like basically everyone involved because they didn't get permission from him to use Mike Tyson's face tattoo in the marketing and all the stills and trailers. It didn't happen. It didn't get the money it wanted, but that's what these people are going to try to do. I kind of see what they're saying. Like, you can copyright a original idea if it's on a lasting format. If you tattoo someone at like 18 years old, which are these NBA stars, and they live to be 100, which is probably going to happen, 90 years is pretty lasting, or let's say 80, okay? It's more so than film would be if you didn't preserve it properly. It's just, it's such a stupid concept. Like, I get it, Take-Two makes a lot of money, those 2K games make a lot of money, and the only time you get sued like this is when someone is rich. But it's not like they signed a contract with the players. They showed up and said, I want something really cool, give me something. And then they said, yeah, okay, give me $5,000. And now they want how many times more than they charged the player in the first place? I know. But what we just talked about with VR, I think a simulated tattoo in VR or AR, this could actually mean something. If there's widespread usage, if it's universal interest in a new technology, and you see someone's, creative liberty being stripped from them and used for other sources, maybe the judges are thinking of that if they're that well versed in upcoming technologies, because that's the point of cases. It's to set precedent and to have a record for history. We'll see. I think it depends how high this goes in court, like what level it rests at. But I hope it gets thrown out. I don't know. Staying on technology for a little longer here. Basically, the headlines this week are tech, and then a little bit of film stuff too. Google is bringing free gigabit internet to public housing in cities that have Google Fiber. This is huge. They're not the first ones to do it. Comcast is something similar for their low-income families. But having access to that quality of content when you normally would be closed out of having such a privilege is really big. And this seems like it's going to be a trend. New York City most recently just got free gigabit Wi-Fi across Manhattan last month. So hopefully, this is where our future is. Because when you think about it today, it's like internet access is the equivalent to having water access. If you don't have clean water, you probably don't have internet. But if you have one, you have the other, basically, unless you live in Flint, Michigan.
Yeah.
That's a bad joke. But yeah, this would be really cool. I mean, obviously Google Fiber's only in like 3 cities. It's like Kansas, I think it's in Texas, and maybe some in Arizona. So it's not widespread, but the fact that they're giving back at this kind of a level, and it's not every public housing. It's just going to be certain selected ones. Really cool. Good on them. I mean, they have so much money as it is that, more tech companies should be doing something similar.
If
It's going to be like the Matrix.
I mean, if
You're going to wake up with a Wi-Fi signal implanted in your scalp.
it'll be like to the point where our internet will be so good that if it ever goes wrong, if we ever have any low signals that go out, people would like
3K.
freak out. Yeah,
It could
it'd
happen.
be like massive, mass hysteria.
More tech, though. This is probably the coolest thing I saw this week. Dutch police are training hawks to take down drones. There's like a video of this where this hawk leaves this guy, he flies, grabs the drone with his talons, and comes back. It's so cool. This is something that might be necessary. It's currently, like, you have to set up flight plans to have a drone fly, but I mean, that's like the more sizable ones. If you had one of those spy drones with, like, a flip camera on it, and you got like really good 4K GoPro footage, you could be a total peeping Tom. You could fly this not like onto someone's property, but if you're a good enough pilot, you could like fly it through their doggy door, like get into their house.
No.
Like,
I mean,
think about like publicity, like paparazzi. Like,
the
imagine
reaction,
drones.
yeah, makes sense. It's just a hawk taking it down. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like something that would seem like more logical, like getting a bigger, like police-sized drone that's capable of taking out like any other civilian drones. No, it's getting a
Well, you
hawk
can't.
to take it down on
You
its
couldn't
own.
shoot the drone down.
I didn't,
Like that would be, you need a warrant for that. I don't know. Like this is, this is
But,
why
hey, that's
court
awesome.
cases and law-abiding stuff. It's going to be interesting in the future. Like, imagine the verdict when they decide, like, you can only fly drones on Tuesdays, or kind of like how it was here in California with the drought. Like you could only water your lawn Wednesdays and Fridays or whatever it was. So I think this is cool though. Like imagine a hawk taking down an Amazon drone in the near, like, a couple of months from now.
It's
Maybe to ball people.
it's as absurd as it sounds. Yeah, I mean it sounds awesome.
It's
It
cool.
sounds like it sounds like some sort of some sort of funny video you would find on YouTube, but except this is not a joke apparently.
It's news. Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
real. Because, like, seriously though, like, I'm pretty sure there's probably paparazzi out there currently that use drones to get photos for Us Weekly and stuff, and the tabloids. Think about it. If a celebrity lived in Malibu and they had the beachfront, property, just fly the drone over there. You get like their sunbathing photos easy. I'm sure there's some kind of thing there. That's why you need flight plans.
Mm-hmm.
Would be scary though. Amazon's Echo, which there was a commercial for in the Super Bowl today with Alec Baldwin, it continues to expand its usefulness. They added this week support for Spotify, Uber, and Domino's Pizza. So you can just be sitting on your couch and going, hey, I need a ride. And they'll call an Uber to your house. I want a large pepperoni pizza, put on Usher, and it's going to do it for you now. This is really cool.
Yeah, what would be crazier though is like if you get one of those automated cars, kind of like in Total Recall, and just you're talking to the Echo the whole time as you're calling for a car.
Johnny Cab.
Damn right.
I'm sure it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Google said this week that
Scary.
their automated cars, their autonomous cars drove like 3 million miles or something ridiculous.
That's scary, man.
So, like, if you lived up in the Bay Area, if you lived in Silicon Valley, I'm sure you see those Google autonomous cars all the time. You've seen a Google Map car drive around, right?
No, I have not.
No?
I've never seen one. No, I
I've
know
seen
what
it,
they
like,
look like, but no, I've never seen one in the flesh.
I've seen like 2 or 3, and it's just one of those things where after you do, you go on Google Street View for
You
like
wanna
a
see
couple
if
of
you
weeks to
made
see
it?
how long until you'll find yourself. Yeah, I did. I gave up. I think I tried for like it was like 15 days or something, not in a row, but over that course of time. And I went, I'm not here yet. I'm never gonna be. And I was driving like right behind the truck. I was like, this is so cool. Pre-Snapchat days though, so no one knew about it. But yeah, Amazon. Something else they did this week. They're rumored to be opening hundreds of brick and mortar stores across the U.S. after the success of their single Seattle storefront. We don't know that location. It didn't just have physical books. It also had any kind of items on the shelves that sold well in that zip code. So coffee makers, pillows, whatever. As long as it was like on a lot of wish lists and it had good numbers. So yeah, the number here is like 300. It's like 200, 500 rumored. I could see this happening. I think it's going to, especially like as people have been wondering, like I said earlier about drones, like how are they going to get them, the 2 hour deliveries or whatever. If you have all these storefronts in only the most densely populated areas, then you not only would have a docking bay for your drones, but you could have some place to deliver your goods for Amazon Prime Now drivers. You could even do like Amazon Fresh. Who knows? Like, obviously, you're going to sell your Kindles and all the devices they already make in their Fire TV in store. So this would definitely push numbers and also attract people to their products that don't have credit cards.
Do you think, the concept like of 5 years from now, like of waiting, do you think that'll be lost on us?
Yeah.
Well, that
Yeah.
sucks.
Especially, well, I mean, not necessarily.
Like, I don't know.
But
It's like, I think that's awesome. And at the same time, I'm just thinking, God damn it, people are just going to get more and more impatient, and that's kind of crappy, isn't it?
Don't you already, before Prime existed, did you have Amazon?
Yeah.
Okay, so you remember what it was like for 5 days to be the norm for delivery. When it turned into 2 and sometimes 1, you didn't complain, did you?
No.
If it was 5 days now, you'd complain though, right?
I actually, sometimes when you get stuff, it's not always available through Prime, so you got to wait like 1 week or 2 at times. I mean, I even had to wait
I
for
almost
like
never buy something without Prime.
I had to wait like 6 weeks for something to come in through China once, and I didn't even know that's where it was
Fuck
coming
that.
from. But I mean, I mean, it's a bummer. It sucks, but eventually, though, it all comes back to you. I mean, Prime though, like, it's. I mean, it was amazing when I got it. Like, free 2 day shipping. Like at first I got the free thing, for a year because I was a student. So like that was awesome enough as it was. And then they introduced the streaming service. Like it's just insane. Like how, they haven't really raised the price for how much that stuff's really worth until like a year or two later.
Yeah, I mean, I was bitching about it a couple episodes back because they did recently. I think I paid, because you get taxed on it now too. So I think I paid like 120 or it was like 117 or something. Instead of the 99 it used to be, and before that it was 79. It's worth it though, if you are a fan of their goods or their branding. Batman versus Superman, they announced during the Super Bowl that it's getting a release in China. That means it's getting a true international release. It's going to be in the USA, the Japanese market, and Chinese on March 25th. This almost never happens. So Warner Bros. Could be getting a ton of money because of this.
I don't know how, because I don't think Man of Steel played there. I don't think Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight movies did at all.
Maybe Dark Knight, because it did have that Chinese sequence, or not China,
Hong Kong. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't have a grasp at all of what the Chinese audience is into, but it seems like they're more into the lighter, family-friendly stuff. And when something a bit more serious and dark edge comes out, it isn't.
Batman.
It isn't received nearly as well. So
Batman.
I understand
Batman's.
I understand Batman's domestic and international appeal. Like, although to some extent, I don't know what the appeal is in China, though.
The appeal is that it's Batman. It's one of the
Is
most
it there in
revered
China?
cultural figures globally for the last 75 years.
I don't know. We'll see.
Like, if you are,
We'll see what they're into. I mean, Star Wars is not performing as they expected it to over there.
it's
So
Star Wars though. That wasn't. Yes, those original movies did make a ton of
my
money.
point is, I just don't.
guess
I
you'd say
don't
the prequels
think
too.
anyone has a grasp on what the Chinese market is necessarily into, except for stuff like Pacific Rim or stuff that is ideally set in their area.
I mean, what you got to remember too, though, is maybe the reason Star Wars didn't take off in China is because it took so long to get there that a lot of people just saw a pirated copy online. Like, that's why these day and date releases matter. The fact that no one can undercut its release date. There's no barriers between the fans on any side of the globe. So, like I said, I hope this means they make a ton of money. I also hope it doesn't suck either. So it's 50-50 hopes here. We're just over a month away. This doesn't make me less excited or more so, but I just think it's a cool news item. Hopefully Warner Brothers can keep it up. We'll see. I guess it depends on the success of this one.
Mm-hmm.
Staying with DC, though, I've been watching The Flash a lot over this past week. I'm like 14 episodes in, a little bit less than that, 12, I believe. The Flash is visiting Supergirl on March 28th.
The thing that
This
they said
crossover,
that no one, sorry, the thing
yeah,
that they said was not going to happen now is
it was
happening.
never going to happen, yeah. This crossover is between the CW and CBS. Despite competing networks, the only reason it's going to work is because they have the same production company, the same showrunner, Greg Berlanti, and the fact that CBS has a stake in the CW. I doubt that Arrow would show up on Supergirl just because the tone of his show doesn't match Supergirl. But, they had Hellblazer's Constantine show up on his show, and you see that works. It seems like Gotham's the only one left out of the loop. We'll see what they can do with that. It'd be really interesting, but I might watch this. I mean, I'm going to be caught up by then. I know I will. I'll probably be caught up. I want to by next week so I can see this Earth 2 episode everyone's been raving about. This is really cool.
Stuff like this, it's just going to happen more and more often. It's the expectation now. Like, even though they said, oh, it's not going to happen, they're never going to get together. Of course they are. I mean, that's what the public wants. They'd be stupid not to do that.
Well, I mean, cross-network stuff doesn't really happen, though. Futurama Simpsons is one thing. Family Guy Simpsons is one thing. It's
But
the
that's
same
all
time
within the
slot,
same
it's
network.
the same network.
Yeah.
Exactly. This is Channel 5 versus Channel 2. Like, they both have these really fresh, young superhero shows between The Flash and Supergirl, and they are battling for demographic and just popularity. And so this obviously helps both series. I doubt that Supergirl is going to be making an appearance on the CW.
Oh, we'll see. I mean,
but
I don't know how it sounds like something like how the Sony and Marvel deal works out. They're probably just going to trade off like that, maybe. I don't know. It's like hey, we did one for you now.
maybe.
I don't know.
DC's got a good cornerstone. They have a good market on TV currently. They're going to have competition in the near future. Obviously, ABC has several Marvel shows. Agents of Shield. Well, they have what is it? Agent Carter.
Agent Carter.
And then they have the new one coming up about the superhero workplace comedy. But they're not the only ones. Fox has joined the fray. We announced a while ago, FX was getting a show based on Legion. They announced a casting this week. Dan Stevens is starring, and Aubrey Plaza is playing a supporting role. I love this.
That sounds...
Dan Stevens being on TV again. He was on Downton Abbey. He's going to be in that Beauty and the Beast remake for Disney. I'll turn in just to see his charm.
Dan Stevens, I'm still picturing him in The Guest, honestly.
Can't you? He was kind of like a bad guy on that.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, he definitely was, but I'm saying, like, wait, what if this character is more of an anti-hero and does, like, the same thing?
I don't know. We'll see.
We will see.
I guess I'm just picturing
basis,
a much more extreme version in my head.
The basis here for the characters, I think it's like Charles Xavier's son or something like that. Not well-versed in X-Men comics. But it'd be really interesting to see if they do something similar to Disney, where it's all a shared universe within their Fox, their X-Men characters, or if they go the DC route and they do a TV universe, film universe. Because this is X-Men and that's the only player they have. Obviously, they got Deadpool a week from now, rather. And that's in universe, and so is the Gambit movie. I would think that they'd be doing the same thing here, but who knows? We'll see. I mean, they just announced casting, so that means a pilot's a good time from now. Hopefully this comes out by the end of this year, though. It'd be really, really interesting. Like, maybe a trailer's out by the time the new X-Men movie is.
Well, no, I mean, that seems like, they can put it out fast enough, I think, for pilot season, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it seems like that's why it's getting go ahead right now.
We will see, though. I'm interested. A couple more TV items here. Spike, if you haven't seen their huge show, Lip Sync Battle, they realize they got a monster. They're trying to make another one. It's called Karaoke Showdown. It's another late-night spinoff, this one coming from the Corbin show. Lip Sync Battle is kind of a Jimmy Fallon thing, and he, in fact, actually produces that program. So the idea here is that it's going to be like Cash Cab, except Craig Robinson's going to be the host driving around, and he's going to pick some people up. They're going to get in the car, and then they have to belt out some tunes to stay in the cab and win some money. Sounds like a hit. He's charismatic enough. I don't know if it's going to be a long-running program, but I'll probably tune in the same way that I do on the Lip Sync Battle if they show off the trailer and they got some funny stuff on there.
Yeah.
Have you seen that show, by the way?
No, I haven't.
You really should. The Channing Tatum did an episode with his wife not too long ago, and she redid the like opening number, not the opening number, but the opening number when he's doing the metal workshop in Double XL for Magic Mike. She does that whole scene on air. It's awesome. Some more funny stuff here. Fox is going to try to get back into the sketch game. The Lonely Island, along with Paul Scheer, are bringing Saturday night comedy back to their channel. The show's called Party Over Here, premieres March 19th, and it currently has an all-girl cast of comics. There's 3 of them. I know Paul Scheer's going to be directing a couple episodes. They've said the Lonely Island are going to show up. I bet you they're going to have some kind of song on air at one point or another. I like this. You know, I wasn't the biggest fan of Mad TV, but it definitely was a good launching point for a lot of comics. Obviously, Key and Peele, Will Sasso, who just had a guest part on Shameless for the last couple episodes. So this is cool.
It's a good assembly of talent. I have no idea if I'd be into it personally. I don't know, but we'll see. I mean, I'm sure something good could come about of it.
At the very least, it's competition for Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, no.
I mean, it's kind of weird that they're the only one on network.
Yeah, I mean,
like, there's Whose Line Is It Anyway, but it's not primetime.
No, there needs to be some new for sure.
Rupert Wyatt, who you know from Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and also being the initial director of Gambit, he's filming Fox's Exorcist pilot. I don't even know what to think. Not a big fan of that movie or that series of films. Kind of weird that he passed on a big blockbuster and they got him to do a pilot instead. I don't know.
Well, I have no idea what it is that they're putting together for that. I mean, honestly, as weird as it has been, doing like basing a TV series off of a movie or some sort of established franchise, they've proven to be more successful than not.
This is true.
I want to say that there has to be something good behind that. I mean, you have someone who's definitely talented behind it. That has to be a good sign, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just stay with this. Obviously, it's working on Limitless. There's a rumor that Ethan Hawke might be playing the recurring role just in the same way that Bradley Cooper does in the Training Day TV sequel. I would like that. I read like 3 different possibilities on Slash Film. One is that he's now a corrupt cop and a new rookie trying to take him down. Another is that he just shows up every once in a while like Bradley Cooper does when he's not busy with film projects. But, this is just speculation. This is like spec scripts and whatnot. But he's not the only one here. Like, Sarah Michelle Gellar's being approached to do the same kind of role for Cruel Intentions, which is going to TV sequel show. So maybe this is the new thing. I mean, it makes sense. It's like doing the legacy thing that Arnold did or Harrison Ford did with Star Wars and Terminator.
Stallone.
If these shows are going to be on TV, then it makes sense for them to try to get someone out back. Because as much as I watched The Limitless, the couple episodes, I think he was on 2 of that first half of the season. It was really cool. It's like, well, this is a true successor. I was invested, I guess, in the movie in the first place. These obviously would be a bigger investment because they're more acclaimed films than Limitless is. It would definitely not only just get people in it to tune in every week, at least for the pilot, but they have talent here.
Well, yeah,
Sarah Michelle Gellar ran Buffy for 8 seasons, so she obviously has a good TV audience already in play.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, especially if you get like just movie stars attached to it, it gives it whatever's on TV. It'll give it like a bigger, more cinematic feel. I think just by having their very presence in there. Like, imagine if Denzel Washington showed up. I mean, you realize how like that would elevate just one episode.
Well, he's dead.
Oh crap! Yeah.
Yeah, he died in that movie. That's for sure.
Marvel finds excuses to bring people back, so you never know.
Yeah, Antoine.
That's a trend right now.
Imagine him going, we need him back. Let's get a flashback. More TV, more revival news. Naomi Watts is joining Twin Peaks. She's going to be on the show, and so is David Lynch. He's going to be reprising his role from the original series. I'm really excited about this. Naomi Watts is amazing in Mulholland Drive, so...
Yay for fans, of which I am not.
Well, you haven't seen Twin Peaks.
No, I haven't. I honestly don't know if I'll ever start. I mean, at this point, I mean, it used to be on
that
Netflix,
first
right?
Season, I believe it still is. That first season is really strange, really kooky, and really interesting soap opera TV. That's exactly what it is. It is a soap. I mean, getting I'd like to see Helen Graham show up too, because that was one of her first roles on that show. So is David Duchovny. He shows up in like an episode as well. So if they can keep on tracking town like this, maybe they'll get more. They're already half done shooting the show, so I don't know how much more room there is for other people. But like a lot of people are invested in Twin Peaks. Like David Bowie was in the movie, so it's just a continuation of David Lynch being able to attract good actors for his for all of his films and programs here.
I think, yeah, part of the excitement's also just that he rarely ever does anything, and when someone's announced with David Lynch's name, people just flip for it.
I mean, I read this thing. I can't remember where it was right now, and it was like it was a couple of years old. I think that's why I didn't talk about it on the show previously. And it was talking about how Hollywood's so scared to make the mid-budget film. They either want these micro-budget found footage things that cost less than 10 million altogether, or they want to make a huge blockbuster to make a ton of money. So they either want to spend a little and make a lot, or spend a lot and make a shit ton.
Yeah.
But they're not okay with an okay amount
stuff,
making
yeah.
an okay gross. Exactly. And that's what David Lynch did. That's what John Waters did. That's what a lot of these, Spike Lee. It's what a lot of these acclaimed indie filmmakers were known for.
It's also what Jason Blum is doing right
and
now.
Hollywood just scared him away. Well, not exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like he's on the short end of the stick still. Like he's doing
No, I mean he's doing
more
smaller
than like
stuff.
a $20 million movie.
Okay, now I'm just adding on to that point. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, Paranormal was a fluke, and since then, that's just what they're going for. And so, that's probably why David Lynch is doing TV. Like maybe Showtime can get him enough, if he gets a big enough audience, that CBS Films will fund something that he does. I don't see it getting a lot of numbers because there's a good fan base out there, but not as many people watch Twin Peaks as that watch X-Files.
Not only that, but I mean, how many people have access to Showtime? Like, a lot of the fans of that show, they're probably just going to pirate it.
Well, maybe not. I mean, we just talked about Amazon a second ago. We know that Showtime is
They got
available
an add-on,
through them.
yeah, but I mean, how many people are going to go through that?
Well, if they haven't done the trial, they'll get the week free.
Yeah,
that's at least one episode.
That's 1 week, yeah, but I mean, it's what, like an extra $15 or something?
It's not bad. Like, if I didn't have cable and I really loved, I watched Shameless. If I lived on my own and I didn't have cable, yeah, I would probably buy Showtime just to see Shameless, to see this Twin Peaks later this year. I mean, Californication's not on air anymore, but I love that enough to want to pay money for that as well. I mean, I wish we knew numbers for these things, like how many people subscribe to HBO Now and the Amazon Showtime and Star Wars content and all of these things. But, Google's getting the game too. Very quick, in fact. YouTube is premiering their first batch of original programming this Wednesday, the 10th, to their YouTube Red subscribers. It includes Rooster Teeth's Laser Team film, which is making rounds right now, a documentary that I can't remember the basis for, and a scripted series called Scare PewDiePie, made in collaboration with Disney's Maker Studios, which puts him into scary movie situations or something. I'm not sure exactly. But they're doing it already. This is weird. I wonder, like I said, I wonder the numbers for them too. I'm sure there's going to be some announcement on Wednesday. This many people have seen it, and that will give us some kind of indication of the subscriber base there.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think it'll drive that up because those are all things that command a very niche audience too. So, but I guess it's
not really though.
No, Rooster Teeth. I mean, it's
PewDiePie is them, but PewDiePie is huge.
Like how huge?
He grossed over $1 billion last year. Huge.
Okay, I retract that statement.
I have to imagine, I don't know, let's say 10% of his audience has YouTube Red. I would have to assume 100% of the people that watch him are going to watch his content on YouTube Red. So if you can find some kind of approximation there, we could have an idea. But then again, I can't check the numbers unless someone reports them. But it'd be something interesting because I think that if you don't have Spotify and you want original program, that's the best way to go outside of Amazon until they make their own Spotify clone. So, I mean, podcasts have been showing up this week on that app as well. So if you're lucky and you can find them on there, you can find us. Hey, self-plug. But yeah, I can't do it because, sitting through 30 seconds of commercial to watch a movie, or not a movie, watch a video on YouTube isn't bad. It's not Hulu where you get them throughout every 7 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, Wednesday. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of news Thursday morning. A couple of Netflix things here. Orange is the New Black has just been renewed for 3 more seasons. I'm not sure who does this, but yeah, they've already greenlit 3 more seasons of this show.
how many are we at now?
How do
Like
you?
three?
Uh, yeah, and I think the fourth is coming out soon. So yeah, there's gonna be 7 seasons of this show at the very least.
I don't.
Has anyone ever done this?
I mean, it must be doing insanely well. Like, we don't know what the numbers are, but I mean, that's all I can get out of that is that yeah, it must be really, really must be doing really, really well for them to do that. But I mean, also just is this going to end anytime soon, or is this how they're planning on ending it? I'm
Uh,
not sure. Like,
I mean,
I would hope that
good for the
there's,
people
I would
involved.
hope that there's a bit
They
of a
just got
creative pull there of like, hey, how many seasons do you need to tell the story that you need to tell? Like, oh, just this many. Like that would be awesome, artistically speaking. But
yeah, I've seen like 3 episodes. They have the luxury since it's set in the prison that if Taylor Schilling was killed off or moved on from the show in these next 3 years, which I have to imagine because you know she's getting gigs, she's in the overnight, she's in a couple other things. Jason Biggs as well. You know, like because it's in the prison, maybe you just move to different inmates. You've been setting up so many along the way, all these supporting characters that could easily become the star.
mhm.
Um, who knows? I don't know, but yeah, it's crazy. But like, it's good. Everyone involved in the show just got 3 years of job security.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, people have work. That's good.
But this doesn't happen in Hollywood. I mean, Netflix has never done the traditional thing in the field, but this is crazy. Like, can you imagine HBO going, yeah, Game of Thrones just got 3 more years,
I mean, I don't even know how that would work either. I mean,
right?
there's a lot of things to consider there. Like, there's young actors aging in that show. Like, I don't know how they're able to keep up with that, and I don't know what the timeline in the books is for that. I mean, yeah, this is just crazy. Like,
well, they're at the end of the timeline now.
well, I mean, yeah. Plus, I don't even know how long it's going to fizzle out. Like, the popularity of Orange is the New Black. Shit, I don't know, man. We'll see.
I don't know. Hashtag 52 women in film. Uh, but yeah, Netflix. They got a new show coming out March 11th. I might check this out. It's called Netflix Presents the Characters. It's 8 comedians. They each get their own episode, and it's 30 minutes to do whatever they want. It's being called outlaw comedy. The goal here is to innovate the sketch world. It's interesting, like having a full 30 minutes to flesh out one specific sketch character. I believe is the idea here, or maybe it's several. I don't know, but it's only a month away. They've been trying to do the comedy game on Netflix. Obviously, lots of stand-up material, not a lot of scripted stuff.
I mean, that sounds
So I
good
guess
too.
this
Like, I mean,
it's like
it
mhm.
sounds like that would. I don't know how much that would cost. Actually, I mean, it doesn't seem like it demands that much time to shoot. Like, you just have one
It's a sketch
episode.
show. Yeah,
Yeah, it takes like a week. That's it.
if that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sketches. You know, like what was the turnaround on an episode of Chappelle's Show? You know,
I mean,
probably a week.
it sounds interesting. I mean, I don't know if the quality of episodes would be consistent because every comedian has different styles. But yeah, I'd definitely be interested to check it out.
I think that's the idea, though, that like every episode's different.
It's varied, yeah.
Um, 2 more Netflix things here, and then we're gonna move on to film. Netflix is adapting #GirlBoss the series. I don't really know what this is. It's gonna be run by the writer of Pitch Perfect. The concept here, what the book is about, is a rags to riches story, where this girl went from dumpster diving and selling vintage clothing on eBay into becoming a multi-million-dollar fashion empire by the age of 27. Yay? I don't know. Like, this sounds like it could be one of those really underdog shows that takes off and is really big if it's done well. I never even heard of Amoroso before, but then again, I don't wear female clothes, so that kind of makes sense. But yeah, shows have the hashtag before their name now. It's going to be really easy for it to become a trending topic, I guess. Last Netflix news. They're premiering this doc that I think you might like. It's executive produced by David Lynch. It's called My Beautiful Broken Brain. It's about a woman recovering from a traumatic brain injury.
It sounds a lot like some from David Lynch.
Or something from you.
Oh, what?
Hashtag listen to the Grey episode.
I don't,
I'm looking forward to that.
I mean, I imagine he would probably get more out there and weird with it. I don't know. We'll see, though.
I mean, just the money. And, you know, when you're the
Yeah.
exec producer for something, you just your name goes on the poster and
Well, it's
you
still
get
it's when it's a name that big, there's still their signature that's imprinted on it. That's usually what people depend on when I mean, because it's gonna. I'm sure they're gonna market it as like David Lynch presents, you know. So there has to be that signature in there
we'll see.
somehow.
I mean,
Usually that's the
somehow,
case.
yeah. What, you know, they put a camera inside her brain? It's like some weird like eraser head moment.
I still need to see that.
Yeah, me too. I got a DVD copy sitting right here. I tried last Halloween, I guess 2 Halloweens ago now. I got real bored and I turned it off. I was like, either I'm gonna fall asleep or I'll watch this some other time. It was bizarre. I mean, Larry Nance stars in it, who's like in every other David Lynch project
It,
before he
you
died.
said
He's
bizarre,
even
and
on.
I'm just like, yeah, that sounds like David Lynch. That's all I need to know.
No, no, this is like a whole nother level though. I think it's surreal. Okay, I
I don't know. Mulholland
don't
Drive is
know.
pretty fucking weird.
But that's like it's accessible though.
I, eh, I don't think so.
Whatever.
I've seen that movie twice. I still don't get it.
No, I think like Justin Theroux co-wrote it.
Seriously? Like I'm not the
Last
person to
thing,
ask questions about that movie.
you don't know anything, Steve. You're the worst. Last TV news here. Amazon, they're making a 4-episode live-action American Girl special. It could create a series if it's successful. This is obviously to try to counter what Netflix does with their children programming. I don't know if this is going to work. I mean, American Girl has been adapted to other stuff. They've had other TV, like made-for-TV movies. They had that Kit Kittredge movie a couple years ago. I don't know if it's a big enough brand to really push on Amazon. It makes sense on Amazon, though. Like, if you're watching it, it's like, click this link and you could buy an American Girl doll. It'll be delivered to your house by the end of the show. Something like that, it would work. It's obviously not for us.
No.
But Barbie's like Mattel is making a lot of waves right now with their Barbie stuff, so maybe this will work too. I don't know.
If they make money off it, or if the target audience enjoys it, then hey, good for them.
Good for them.
Yep.
Okay, moving in the film stuff. That TV stuff should just get kicked off the show from now on. It takes up too much damn time. That stuff sucked. I know you don't care out there. Movie dates. Vin Diesel on Instagram has announced some things. That's all he ever does.
Yeah.
So The Rock too. Like it's like you don't even need to be a journalist. You just have to watch.
If you want
their
Fast and
social
Furious
media.
news, just follow Vin Diesel. That's it. You're covered.
Seriously,
Yeah.
well, not just fat, also Riddick and Triple X.
Yeah.
He published, I guess you should say, Instagrams, the release dates for Fast 9 and 10. 9 is coming April 19th, 2019. Fast 10 is April 2nd, 2021.
Yay.
It just sounds futuristic. It always sounds futuristic.
Honestly,
I'm a yay.
I know you are, but I'm still like, you know, it's this whole thing that Marvel and DC like started. Actually, I think it was Marvel that did it first, right? Like having or claiming release date
What?
spots from all the way up to like 2020 or 2021. 2021. That's over 5 years from now. Jesus Christ, dude. I feel like something is gonna like popularity might wane at some point. I'd be very surprised if this was consistently as big as it was with these past 3 movies. Like I feel like it's gonna
Been
drop now.
consistently pretty big since Tokyo Drift,
Now,
so.
Tokyo Drift was not big at all.
No, I'm saying since then.
Like
Like
4
after
did
that movie with
respectably,
Fast.
yeah, but then 5 was like, oh shit,
Oh wow,
yeah.
holy shit! Fast 6 was like holy shit, and then yeah, 7 made $1 billion globally.
Hmm.
I don't think it's gonna trail off. They've already announced that it's only gonna be 10 movies. I think they're gonna stick to that. Vin Diesel has enough star power. The Rock has enough star power. I don't think Paul Walker's passing is gonna have any lasting effect on ticket number drop off or anything like that.
Well, I mean, I do wonder, like, how. I mean, franchise fatigue. I just feel like it's getting there. I don't know. Maybe I'm alone, but aside from Paul Walker's passing having to do with Fury 7, like, I feel like if that didn't happen, then this, 7 could very well have just dropped down a bit. I mean, I don't think there's that much
Probably.
appealing to that movie other than that very reason is to see it for, how they pay that tribute.
This is true, but I think
But that's just my
because
personal
so many
opinion,
people. Yeah, but I mean, so many people saw 7 probably for that reason, but because of that, were obviously hooked. Well, not obviously, but they were hooked too because I'm sure a lot of people came back and saw it again. I liked it enough that I could have. I'm sure I'm going to watch it on TV at some point.
It's on HBO
Um,
Go.
Is it already there?
It should be soon, shouldn't it?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah,
should
I
check.
think that's this month.
Cool. But yeah, at least 8 at the very least will do it. And if it doesn't, they're gonna stop the franchise. Like you have that ability. Like we talked about 2 weeks ago. Just because you have dates on the calendar doesn't even mean anything. Look, the Terminator Genesis sequel got canceled, and they had a date for that. So, but I think because they have just 10, because they've set it out, because they said that these final 3 are a trilogy, I think it's gonna work. I think they can make it last. And if they can't, Universal's already trying new things with new franchises, like their Monster Shared Universe. So it's not the end of the road for them. It's just this one. All roads ends, or you fork in the road. Imagine if Dom dies at the end of 10, and as he's literally, this happens on screen. As he's floating to heaven, Brian Spooner shows up, and they hug his angels or something.
First off, it's O'Connor, but where the hell did you get Spooner from?
Yeah, it's some other movie. You play someone named Spooner.
All right, yeah, I would
for sure.
I just like to imagine some sort of Iron Giant type ending where he's in a car and there's rocket boosters on there and he just follows like a nuke up into the sky, just does a self-sacrifice right there,
And it ends with this closing narration. It doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. A win is a win. And then directed by Rob Cohen.
It just ends with the Team America
dates,
music.
Though. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Tom Tykwer.
Tickfer, rather.
Tickfer?
Yeah.
Is it?
Tickfer.
Hologram for a King, his next movie. It's got a release date, April 22nd. Tom Hanks is starring in it. This is notable because we just did our episode for Run Lola Run. You should check that out. It was fun. I would really want to see this movie. I don't know anything about it, but holograms in the title and Tom Hanks is starring in it, and that's seriously enough for me.
And Tom Tickfer. I mean, that's
that
three
helps.
big things right there. Yeah,
that helps, but it's more so hologram Tom Hanks.
No, I'm with you. I'm in.
Noomi Rapace. She's abandoned the Prometheus sequel, so it's gonna be Alien Covenant for another C-section. How'd this happen? Is this proof is in the pudding? Does this mean that this isn't gonna be a good movie?
I don't know. I mean, was she just not written in it, or did she just say she's not doing it? I mean, because I thought that they were contractually signed on, or usually that's the assumption is that they are. I don't know if that slipped here, but I don't know.
If you disagree with the project enough and you got a good agent, I'm sure you can find any way to how to get out of anything.
I mean,
I don't know.
Has she been in that much lately? I don't know.
Not really, but Ridley Scott said that they're still in the casting stages as kind of to keep down any kind of backlash. It's seriously gonna. He's a pretty major character in Prometheus, so.
I mean, yeah, that's the main character.
I'm not
so.
sure. I mean, you need a alien movie with a female pilot. That's just part of the the DNA. I mean, it'd be funny if they got Rooney Mara to replace her. I don't know. I still think it's a mistake that this movie is going forward and not the Alien sequel.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bummer. I don't know. I mean, who knows what they're doing, honestly? I'm sure that... I mean, at the very least, if they put out another successful marketing campaign, then we'll all probably just shut up for a while, and then we'll be eagerly looking forward to it, and hopefully by then it'll be good.
As long as it's shot natively in 3D.
Yeah, no,
I'm gonna see it.
No, I mean, The Martian was, even Exodus was. Scott's been good at doing that. He's one of the few guys that's still, putting no expense at shooting native.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen, but if it happens once again... That's what made Prometheus so good, such a great watch for me. I'll stop by again.
Yeah, so you didn't see The Martian that way, did you?
No, yeah.
No, you should have. You should have.
Talking about pretty movies, though, Slash Film, they caught something. The ASC made an announcement, and within it, it was revealed that Hoyt van Hoytema is reteaming with Christopher Nolan to be shooting the Dunkirk movie. Wally Pfister's not on board. So this is really interesting, because... Pfister wasn't on it because he was directing Transcendence. And that's why Interstellar had a different DP. Is this Nolan just subverting their partnership, or what?
Or is Pfister just not available, or...
Nothing's been announced.
I don't know.
Is he secretly on some project?
I don't know. Who knows? I mean, maybe I don't know. Just okay. A hypothetical situation is that they could have been on the set of
Uh,
Interstellar, and then Nolan's talking about what he's planning on doing next, and then conversations just kind of like stumble from there, and they share ideas on shots, and then so it makes sense for them to continue to work together. Who knows? It could be a bunch of reasons. I mean, it's not like there's some sort of personal vendetta there against Pfister or anything. I mean, but who knows what's going
well, I'm
on
not
there?
saying a vendetta, but
I mean,
it is curious.
well, yeah. I mean,
I just checked. He's directing some TV episodes. Pfister is with Will Arnett.
yeah.
But those are already coming out. The first one is March 11th.
I don't know. Maybe he's more
So yeah,
focused on
who
his
knows? I
director
mean,
career, but
probably.
I don't know. I mean,
which
have
is
you
a
ever
mistake.
have you ever noticed that though? Like, there's always, yeah, for
A
Nolan, it's
DP that breaks through
no
and never
like
goes back.
for Nolan, it's still pretty early. But like for big directors like Martin Scorsese or actually no, Spielberg has sticked with Janusz Kaminski. But like yeah, they usually stick with one person for a couple movies and then they go with someone else and then they might come back and work together again at some point. I mean like the Coen brothers don't always shoot with Deakins all the time.
But it's pretty quick. It's frequent enough that there's a trend there.
Yeah, like but there's also other people that they like to work with, and there's a gap between movies on other stuff.
I mean, that's probably what this is. Because I mean, Interstellar looked great in IMAX. They're using the same formats. They're doing 70 and IMAX 70 on Dunkirk. So they have that relationship. They know how to use those cameras. Yay! I'm sure it's gonna look great regardless. But I just thought it was a interesting thing. Like maybe it's like you said. Maybe that this is the new tandem.
It's just they had a good working relationship with Interstellar. There's no reason for them not to work together again. And the same thing could be said with Pfister. I don't know. I mean, they do feel at least comparing a Pfister Nolan collaboration to Interstellar. Like yeah, it feels like a different look came from it. So I don't know. I guess it just depends on what maybe Pfister was never part of the conversation. I don't know.
There's gonna be a tell. Well, it's like Christopher Nolan finally gets a Twitter. He finally buys a cell phone. There you go, and then he gets a Twitter.
Yeah, there's no reason to
directors,
assume that just because Pfister's not on board that it's not, that there's bad blood there or anything.
You don't know.
There's no reason to
You
assume.
told him to go fuck himself. So, oh, you wanna be the big boy now, huh? You wanna be the director? Well, I don't want you.
Hey, he produced his movie.
Who?
No, Nolan produced
he?
Transcendence. Yeah, there's no reason that they had to do that.
It didn't help it anymore. Other directors, though, Bryan Singer, he's officially doing the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea movie at Fox. Production starts in the fall. I really like this. I liked it when he Instagrammed it. Was it like 5 months ago or something like that? When he had the script. I like it even more now. He obviously has a great working relationship at Fox. This is a really cool franchise. They're not going to want to do one picture. They're going to want to.
Oh, they're going to do a franchise of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's Jules Verne. There's President here. There's the Journey movies. They made 2 of those by kind of subverting other works to work as a franchise. This could happen here, or maybe they even do like another League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. That was Fox, right?
Yeah.
So imagine if they did do that. That'd be really cool. They did it backwards.
They could. I mean,
in the same way of Man of Steel or Dracula Untold.
Just tell it. Well, wait, no. Dracula Untold was not. That was linear, wasn't it?
No, I'm not saying backwards. I'm saying start the franchise with a film and then.
Oh, just build upon it
off.
like afterwards.
Exactly,
Gotcha.
like secretly. Yeah. Pretty interesting. Other directors, though, Steven Soderbergh, who's quote unquote been retired for the last 3 years, might be coming out to direct Channing Tatum and Matt Damon in Hillbilly Heist. There's no studio attached yet to the script, but it's a hot product. I mean, is he really in retirement? He is as a director, but I mean, he shot Magic Mike XXL. He's done some stuff on TV, most notably Behind the Candelabra and The Nick. He's been busy.
I mean, he's able to do whatever he wants. I don't know if you'd call him a working director now or however he wants to consider himself. I mean, I don't know. Whenever someone mentions retirement, it's like you got to take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, I remember. Girlfriend Experience is going to be on TV soon. He's busy.
Yeah.
I do remember when he announced his retirement. He's like, "I want to become a painter. I want to try my hand at another kind of art form." And I guess that's true because he has these TV products and stuff.
Maybe it's a hobby. I don't know.
But it's fun. I don't know. But it's Channing Tatum. He's worked with Soderbergh like 3 times now. Side Effects, the 2 Magic Mike movies. Matt Damon. obviously the Ocean movies, The Informant. So these two guys have a working relationship with the director. I'm sure it'll be something to watch for if it does in fact happen. But he's not the only one that's been busy. So is James Franco, who like we talk about like every week because he's always signing on to do shit. I don't even know how he can. Then again, he went to like 3 different colleges at the same time, so I guess he can do anything. He is the Green Goblin. He's adapting slash directing a Rolling Stone article about a viral series of tweets. The article itself is Zola tells all the real story behind the greatest stripper saga ever tweeted. I think this happened like a year ago. I didn't follow it, but I remember people using the hashtag. It was like this girl going on a road trip with her friend who's a stripper and her boyfriend who's a pimp. And it's like 200 something tweets long, and it's all about their adventure. I like this sounds like it could be either the greatest thing ever told or the worst. At the very least, it's going to be the first adaptation of a tweet. But just the subject matter alone kind of reminds me of Tangerine, and it's James Franco. So he's been making so many things that he's got to make something good eventually. Maybe it's his movie right now about the art, the room. Maybe
that's
it could be
also
so many
meant
different
to
things.
be like that's meant to be a mainstream release too. I think because I mean they got all those guys. There's Seth Rogen, there's Evan Goldberg.
He's
He's even using the
Yeah.
DP that they usually have for their movies. So
His brother's in it. He has somewhat level of star power. So,
God,
yeah, but yeah, talking about
James
Seth
Franco's
Rogen,
Tommy
he's
Wiseau.
in
I
it.
wonder what that's going to be like.
It's gonna be weird.
Yeah.
But Seth Rogen, he's gonna be in a movie with Zach Galifianakis and Bill Hader. It's a space comedy titled The Something. It's about the three of them being in space, trapped in their shuttle for years alone without any contact, and stumbling across another one. Sounds like it'd be really good. We haven't had a space comedy since
Dark
Rocket
Star?
Man. What's Dark Star?
That's the John Carpenter, Dan O'Banion movie that.
Is that late '80s?
I think it's John Carpenter's first movie actually.
Oh no, the Rocket Man's from like the mid '90s. Really bad Disney movie.
No. I mean, Dark Star is.
Uh,
It's a pretty bad movie, or I don't know, because I think it's supposed to be a comedy at the same time. Like, there's clips on YouTube of how, it's got some really shitty acting, but it's pretty.
John Carpenter movie. So.
It's total trash, dude.
Like I said, other directors here. Alfonso Cuarón's son, Jonas, he's directing the long-gestated Zorro reboot. It's now just titled Z. It was initially going to be this post-apocalyptic thing, but now it's being rewritten by the director to be set in the near future. I hope that means it's good. It has good potential. I really like those Antonio Banderas reboots. This character's been around for over 100 years, just on film alone, rather. And, one of the early serial stars. I hope it does well. I hope Warner Brothers does it too. It'd be cool if they put their new Zorro, in the DC universe.
I mean, it's cool to see them put faith in someone that's still relatively unproven. Even though I know he did the short for Gravity, but
And yeah, he did that, and then he had something right now called Desierto that just came out. But yeah, he hasn't had a hit yet, and he's got a big tentpole now.
I mean, it's good. I mean, Warner Brothers is really good at taking risks too, even if this is still being kept within the family.
I don't know if this is WB, but I think it is. More directors: Mary Harron and Guinevere Turner. You know them. They collaborated on I Shot Andy Warhol, American Psycho, Notorious Betty Page. Harron's the director, Turner is the writer. They're working on a film called The Family. This is the latest Manson family movie. There was Manson Family Vacation, which is on Netflix from the Duplass brothers just a couple of months ago. This will follow the Carlene Faith, who wrote the novel, well, not the novel, but the memoir, The Long Prison Journey of Leslie Van Houten, Life Beyond the Cell. That's going to be the main source. They're also going to be using Ed Sanders' 1971 novel, The Family. I think this works, especially with in terms of their films that they've done in the past. If they can try to tap into American Psycho type thing with this subject matter, I think it could be a hit. But then again, that's a satirical novel to begin with, and it's Christian Bale doing sexy sit-ups, and you can't say enough.
Do you want to call it that?
movie. I know that when he's working out, man, like
with
watching
Texas
Texas
Chainsaw
Chainsaw
Massacre in the
Massacre,
background.
so fucking cool. But yeah, I mean, I've seen their other collaborations. Betty Page is pretty interesting. She hasn't worked. Mary Harron hasn't worked in a couple of years. I think she actually directed an episode of Constantine. So this is cool. I hope that this gets picked up. I hope it's somewhere besides festivals. Uh, uh, Mark Platt, the guy that brought Wicked to Broadway, is making an R-rated musical comedy with the writer of the Jump Street movies. It's going to be starring Channing Tatum and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. It's at Universal. Hit Record Films is one of the production partners. This sounds awesome. I know Channing Tatum, he has that musical number in Hail Caesar right now. Gordon-Levitt obviously has done stuff not on just Hit Record, but all over the place on YouTube, etc. They've worked together lots of times. G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra, Havoc, Stop Loss. I'm sure they're friends. I don't love musicals, but I like the idea that Hollywood's taking risks on older genres. So I hope this is a success. Obviously, they got the talent involved. Sounds cool.
Well, you just want to see Channing Tatum dance again. I know that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like I now that I know that he does tap dancing to Hail Caesar, I kind of really want to see it. But yeah, like they don't make musicals often anymore, and with the star talent here, it could be a thing. I think with today's music industry, that they could do a Purple Rain thing, that a musician could make an album and do a whole movie musical around it. Prince did that like twice. Grease was kind of that way.
Yeah, it could be a revival of that sort of thing. I mean, who knows? Like, we're still...
I mean, the musicals... Live TV musicals are big right now, so this is probably just trying to capitalize on that. It's Universal, and I mean, they've been doing the big ones on NBC with Peter Pan, and what was the first one they did? Did they do The Wiz, too? I don't know. It's hard to keep track of what networks do which ones.
Yeah.
No idea. But yeah, staying on movie news. Lionsgate... Only got a couple things here, guys. The show's almost over. Thanks for bearing with us. Lionsgate is developing.
I don't know about you.
The Magic Tree House.
I don't know if it's obvious. I am very, very tired.
And you wanted to be doing something else right now.
Yeah.
I said we could have been doing this later.
Yeah,
it's on you.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to be very tired for probably the next couple of shows. That's why we recorded some of them early.
I'm just going to throw this out here. Send Steve some hate mail. A girl approached him and asked if he wanted to get drinks before we started recording, and he said, no, I got to do a podcast.
I'm that dedicated.
I've done it too, once or twice.
Okay, well, no, what I said was a couple hours, and then if you're still down here, I'll be back down. So if I'm not passing out right away, then yeah, maybe.
If we're done in the next 20 minutes, you'll definitely be down there. Maybe getting some down there. Who knows? But Lionsgate, they're going to be developing, they are developing the Magic Tree House series of books under their Summit banner. Did you ever read any of these?
No.
They're for our age demographic. Really cool. All the titles were alliterative. It's like a history lesson through an adventure. For instance, the one that they have in development right now is Christmas in Camelot. And so it would be like Birthday in Babylon, like whatever. Like that's how the titles worked. And so this is a really cool, almost sci-fi thing that they can do. Well, I guess on screen it would play like sci-fi. I'm looking forward to this first movie. I didn't read this one, but I do. Like, it was like third grade, and I actually really like these books. There were like 2 or 3 of them. Didn't know they lasted long, but they made like 52 of them, so that gives them a lot of room for franchise if the thing is a hit.
I mean, if they can make Goosebumps, then yeah, there's no reason why this wouldn't happen. Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is a more direct adaptation, though. This isn't Goosebumps making a meta movie about their properties. It's
still brand recognition.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't Goosebumps, but yeah, at some level. Other young adult stuff. We're getting a new dystopian series adapted. Yay! Because Hollywood's not over it. This one's produced by Leo DiCaprio. It's a Zappian Way banner because it has this whole climate disaster angle about like the near future and like Mad Max and blah blah resources and oil and whatever.
Yeah.
Like
subtlety.
Maybe it's gonna be. Yeah, it's probably not gonna be good. Who knows? More important than this, talking about Leo though, did you see that picture of him vaping at the SAG Awards?
No, I did not. but I'm looking it up right now.
No, there's like this cool picture where it's like, yeah, it's Inaritsu in the foreground, and then right behind him, you see Leo with his vape in hand, like, yeah, I'm about to blow some smoke clouds right here, bros. There's like a big thing about this. Anti-smoking councils were tweeting at him like, "This isn't good for the people. You should know better." Or
Like you're
whatever.
not
I
allowed
don't
to
know. I
do
know. It's
what
just
you
like, wow,
want.
what a douchebag move to be smoking at a award ceremony.
Oh yeah, man,
Not even
they've done a
that.
bunch
Just
of
like
memes of this.
how obnoxious! Like you're at the SAG Awards. Yeah, you're at the SAG Awards and you're vaping. Like maybe if you're in the back row in a standee, but you're one of the big stars at the event trying to win the biggest award of the night, which he did in fact win. Uh, I'm sure at the DGA he probably did the same thing. Who knows? Maybe it was at the DGA and the SAG. There's multiple pictures. I don't know. Cigarettes might be making a comeback. There's no proof in that, but MacGyver is, that's for sure. Lionsgate is developing a movie for the character. At the same time, CBS has just greenlit a pilot. So can we thank MacGruber for this? Is this the reason? That movie is so good that they had to get the source material and bring that back too. Maybe the MacGruber sequel is just going to be a parody of the MacGyver movie. That should happen.
Probably, yeah. I mean, I don't know. What is this? Wasn't this in development for a while though?
The TV show, yeah. They just announced
No, I
this
mean, like the movie.
this
I don't know. I thought I heard about that for a while, but I guess
know,
it's
maybe
officially
they brought
happening
it back.
now, huh?
It could have been one or the other. Maybe the TV show's announced and then they made the movie or the TV show, but they're both happening now. This is weird. Like I said, it's Lionsgate and CBS are the two companies in play here. CBS did the show initially. I'm not sure exactly how Lionsgate got the rights. Maybe one will cannibalize the other. It'd be really cool if they put the actor in the movie on the show. Like isn't this the necessary companion to what we were talking about earlier about the legacy TV network stuff? I don't even know if there's going to be a real appeal for MacGyver anyway.
I
Like
don't
how
think there is
interesting
really.
is some guy that can use any item in the room to get out of any situation?
No, I mean I could see
Oh
that
yeah,
being
gonna
cool.
feel you. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
No, I mean like no,
yeah.
can't you see that like in some
I'm gonna nut.
like imagine the in Guy Ritchie's Sherlock Holmes, those slow motion moments where he's just like saying
Yeah.
exactly what's gonna happen. Like yeah, I could see
Like,
like
if
some
they
sort of
did
style
that.
like going on like that.
Yeah, definitely. Or I think I saw something like this. Well, if they just showed him in his mind constructing the devices before he makes them, it could work. I just think that this is more of a TV show thing. I'm not necessarily sure. Like a movie version of MacGyver doesn't make sense when the character's been out of the public like knowledge for how long now? The show ended like in the late '80s, early '90s. I mean, the main MacGyver had a mullet. Okay, so
Hence MacGruber.
yeah. So like, if the fashion sense died, the character kind of did. I mean, there's still name recognition. They must
Man, that's what you call a
just be open.
reimagining.
Like I said, I'm pretty sure MacGruber being a success is probably why this character is having a resurgence. But character actors, Michael Pena, who we love on this show, he stole every scene in Ant-Man. He's set to star in an action flick. Yeah, I said that. It's being called The Worker. It's being shopped as a cross between the Bourne movies and Taken franchise. It's about a Mexican soldier becoming a day laborer to escape detection from the cartels, but then they abduct his family. This sounds really kick-ass. It's being directed by Dan Bradley, who's designed stunts for the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, the Jason Bourne series, and a whole bunch of other stuff, so he knows what he's doing here. You got a likable star on the rise, a director who has experience in the field,
But who's
and
writing
a really
it though?
cool concept.
Who's writing it though? I mean, that's the big
I don't
thing.
know.
Like you could,
I could Google that.
because I mean, it's just yeah, there's a cool concept there. Hopefully, they don't blow it. Like if you got a crappy script that just kind of messes with it, then I mean, yeah. Plus, you got a
I think
stuntman
just coming up with the
who knows if they have final
Uh-huh.
cut. I mean, like what if this movie is like a 120-page script and then it gets severely cut down to 80 minutes just to make to reach the official time for a feature film? That's just me assuming the worst.
I just
but
hope it.
I don't want to get
I
too
really
excited.
hope they use Michael Pena in a comedic way that would work, dramatic as well. I just hope they find a good balance there. Like I said, I'm gonna look up the the writer right now. Actually,
I hope so too.
if
though.
it's even on IMDb yet. There we go. I'm
You
checking.
got it?
Kyle Rankin. That's who else he's done. Oh, this isn't good. Not any really known
No.
things.
Also, I mean, it could be a good
Yeah, it's
start.
like
You never
B
know.
budget stuff. That's not a good sign. Yeah, whatever. We'll see. It sounds really good. I'm excited. It's Michael Pena.
Oh, we'll see what
Um,
happens.
Other people I really like: Keanu Reeves. Keanu starring in another Chinese movie. This one's called Rally Car. It's kind of like a modern take on Cannonball Run. It's set across all of Asia, and it's about Keanu having to, who's a retired race car driver, trying to prove that he still has it and win one final race. He's gonna have a Chinese co-pilot. You know, they always try to put the Chinese stars in the Chinese productions. This could be good. I don't know if I've seen a movie where Keanu drives. Obviously, he was in Speed, but this could just add to his repertoire. It's like John Wick is also. They call it Arfu, maybe.
Yes, yes.
I
Yeah,
want
no,
this
no,
movie.
absolutely. I'm not gonna say anything other. I agree. Yeah. What can I say to that? I can't add anything to it. There's nothing to add.
Imagine if they kill his dog in the beginning. That's why he comes out of retirement. You gotta laugh more than that. Now, Tina Fey. It's like we got one last thing on the show.
All right.
Two anyway. You could just cut them out. Fuck it. Fuck everyone. Tina Fey's production banner, Little People, has signed a 2-year deal at Universal. It's a first look, like everything else is in the world. Obviously, you know, Tina Fey got her fame through NBC by SNL and 30 Rock. So it's a no-brainer that they'd want to keep her there. Just did that Sisters show. I mean, Sisters movie at Universal. They already have movies on the horizon too, which is crazy. The most notable one being "Do Nothing Bitches" with Ronda Rousey, about a group of like stay-at-home moms or something, or I can't remember exactly, but going through a hard as nails workout regimen program. Then Ronda Rousey's the drill camp instructor. So yay! I mean, if you like her work, I think she's a funny lady. Hopefully, she gets Amy Poehler involved too. Yeah, Universal likes keeping their creative workhorses, and this is just more proof that it was Steven Spielberg back in the 70s and 80s. You know, he's kind of back there now with Amblin, so it's another one in the pipeline.
Yeah, I
for
mean
them.
that's good. They got one. Every studio's got one though. They got people that they work well with, and I mean that's.
It'd be interesting if Hollywood reverted back to the contract days when you were literally signed to a studio and they made movies just for you.
I don't think that would happen. I mean,
I don't think so either, but it would be interesting. I mean, there's enough directors out there that kind of stay at one place that it's almost like that
yeah, I mean,
anyway.
it's just having a good business relationship with
Look
someone.
at Ben Affleck at Warner's.
Yeah, I mean that's just having.
Yeah.
You know, that's getting along with like guys that. You know, he knows what executives and producers he wants to work with, and he can communicate what he needs to with them, and he can trust them and get what he needs to. They all work together to put the same product out there, so it works out for everybody in the end. It's not like he's working with anybody that's pushing a different agenda or anything, I would imagine.
Can you just imagine what that was like, though, when you literally like sold your life away to a studio for 5 movies?
I'll watch Hail
And that was
Caesar
it.
if you want
You
to see an
couldn't make-
example of that.
Is that what that movie's about?
It shows a bit of that.
It gets
It tackles
into
into that, yeah.
that. That show's come up enough during this episode that I probably should go watch it. Like, I got a free movie on my AMC Stubs card. Maybe that's the one.
Deadpool.
Instead of Deadpool.
No, dude, Deadpool.
I'm saying, well, I mean, see, if I see Deadpool, like $10 doesn't cover the ticket at night. Okay, $10 would cover a matinee fee. Then again, I could use the 10 and just pay 3. Whatever. I'm probably going to see both. Final thing we got on the show, just this is something funny to put it on a fun note. Elizabeth Banks is playing the villain in Power Rangers. She's going to be playing that leader role from the original show. This is awesome. I haven't talked about any of the other casting for the movie because they're like no-name people. They're just action films. They got someone with a lot of charisma who's known to dress up really weird in things such as the Hunger Games. I don't know if I've seen her in a real like villain role. I mean, she's kind of bad in the Pitch Perfect movies, playing the TV commentator, but that's not a villain. Like, this is the bad guy. Like, has she been in one? I don't know. Or maybe like the workplace boss or something, or like the mean person at work.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I mean, best I could think of was 40-Year-Old Virgin, and even then, no, not really.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too.
But,
yeah.
I mean, in some way, yeah,
really.
but not really.
Yeah, but that's the whole show. That's all we got. If you enjoyed what you heard, let us know. You can find everything we do at dollarviews.net. Go to Twitter at Dollar Views. There's a Facebook page, YouTube, Stitcher. Like I said earlier in the show, we might be coming to Google Play Music soon if their podcasts are going live in the foreseeable future. If you can think of it, we're there. If we're not, let us know. You can send me an email, brian@dollarviews.net. We're all over the interwebs. You can tweet at me directly, at Brian Gillis. That's BRYONGILLS. That's the whole thing. That's all we got. That's the whole shebang.
That close had so much more energy than everything else we've done. This whole episode sounds like...
We got a lot of things in the pipeline.
I feel like it sounds like I'm on Ambien this one, man. I'm just so tired.
Should have got drunk.
No, hey, though, we got a lot coming up. I'm looking forward to that RoboCop episode.